Little Nightmares 3 is the new adventure, or should I say, nightmare, of the franchise, still with a very cool visual and nice graphics, and it's being developed by Supermassive Games. This time you won't play alone. I mean, you can play alone, but with an AI character helping you, or with a friend or mate, all set in an atmospheric and horrifying place filled with all types of monsters. Just like the first two games, here you must survive the bizarre creatures that wants to devour you and also solve the riddles of the rooms to proceed to the next stage. And with this co-op mode, it promises to be even more complex now, with the need of a good communications if you're playing online. The game is coming out in some moment of 2025 to PlayStation 5, Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, and Windows.
The hungry purple dinosaur eats the kind zingy fox, the jabbering crab, and the mad whale quacking.
The hungry purple dinosaur ate the jabbering crab and the mad whale and started venting and quacking.
They're hungry.
OD is still a mystery about how it's really going to be, but the most important thing is, it's being made by Kojima, yeah, so I wouldn't expect nothing less than a unique experience in-game. Kojima is specially known cause he's got an insane creativity and originality about creating games, and in this survival horror he said that the experience here will be unique and different of everything we know. In the only trailer so far we can't see much of the game, just amazing realistic facial expressions, so I'd say this is going to be something important in the game, like it was also great in Alan Wake 2. OD's got no release date yet and is confirmed to Xbox Series X and S, but will probably be coming out to PC too, and maybe PlayStation 5, that depends on Microsoft.
Wending and quacking.
Deepest Fear is a sci-fi horror FPS with a retro-future aesthetic. Deep beneath the ocean, a secret has been unearthed which throws mankind's future into jeopardy. Fight your way to the heart of a sinister project and uncover a mystery both deeply personal and terrifying in its implications. A game developed by the studio Variable State and confirmed only to Windows so far, but with no release date yet. A first-person shooter survival horror with beautiful graphics, an insane and realistic approach. What promises to deliver us a fun and immersive horror experience?
Oh my god. Contamination.
God damn it, Danny! Close those valves! Double time!
Please repair the leaks and use the flux to restore the order. There are currently
1TC.
Giant. Sleeping.
Again.
Animals. Fighting.
Again.
Cronos the New Dawn is a new survival horror developed by the studio Bloober team. If you don't know, it's the studio that developed the remake of the beloved Silent Hill 2, and they did a great job there, so I'm curious to see the final version of the game. Some things that are extremely important in a survival horror game are visuals of enemies and environments, gameplay, immersion, a good combat in case the game got a combat system, and a good story. And this game seems to have all of these things. Of course we'll need to see it for real to really know how it's going to be, but it looks good in the trailer. And the story will be immersive and with time travel features, what's always complex to do. And it's coming out in 2025 to Xbox Series XS, PS5, and Windows.
Such is our calling.
Code Violet is a new third-person survival horror game with dinosaurs. It's being developed by the studio team Kill Media, and it will launch exclusively for PlayStation 5, up to July 2025. A game that looks simple, but still really fun, with mechanics from Resident Evil games, and of course, Dino Crisis, the most beloved dinosaur survival horror series to this day. So if you miss the classic horror games with dinosaur, this one, despite it's simple, it looks really fun. Let's just hope it's launched in a good state.
Screams drawing me in. Better use the pendulum.
The Occultist is a new horror game that looks really interesting. It's being developed by the studio Delaware and shall be released in some moment of 2026 to Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, and Windows. The game is set in a dark and atmospheric universe, and the gameplay shall mix realistic graphics and a first-person camera, a true survival horror experience, with hide-and-sneak mechanics, with good characters, puzzles and an immersive soundtrack. Images are engraved in my mind that would make any man tremble in fear, but I am not just any man. I am the Occultist. Accompany Alan Rebels on his most terrifying occult investigation yet in this spine-chilling horror experience. If you like survival horror games, this looks interesting.
Our limitations as human beings prevent us from really seeing what is there.
Aila is an interesting and unique first-person survival horror game, and the idea of the game sounds really interesting, as you will see here, and it's being developed by Pulsatrix Studios. In the game we'll control a game tester in a future world, so the VR games will be the main idea for the story, so in some moment the experience of the game will be also part of the reality that will end up becoming a true horror. The most interesting thing here is that the game will mix a game, in the game, and the reality of the game, so we'll surely see a lot of different places and times during the game. What sounds really fun. The game is coming out probably in 2025 to Xbox Series X and S, PS5, and PC.
Shepkowski calling on a recorded line. I can't tell you everything over the phone, but you need to come down here tonight, please. 6 p.m. I'll let you into the building. Place will be empty.
Compound Fracture is a modern first-person shooter game, but resembles classic first-person shooter of the start of 2000s. Even reminded me of the classic Turok games. That was really fun. The game is being developed by the studio Industria Games and is only confirmed to PC so far, but there's no official release date, maybe 2025, or even later. In the forests of an untouched planet, there is a lone installation, a game that looks really fun for the fans of classic boomer shooter FPS games.
We sent in a team 2 weeks ago. Nothing. Chronogas is ready to cut their losses and shut the portal down, even if that means leaving hundreds of people for dead. You'll hear on the news that they died in an oil rig explosion or something, and nobody, not you or OSHA...
Nothing lasts forever.
Reanimal is a game set in the same style of Little Nightmares and developed by the creators of it too, the studio Tarsier Studios, and it's coming out to Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, Nintendo Switch 2, and Windows, and will probably be available still in 2025. The creators of Little Nightmares 1 and 2 have returned to take you on a darker, more terrifying journey than ever before. In this horror adventure game, a brother and sister go through hell to rescue their missing friends and escape the island that they used to call home. So yeah, the horror now promises to be greater than ever before, and it looks insane. Silent Hill F is the totally new Silent Hill game after more than 10 years. I'm not counting the short message here, that is not a true Silent Hill to be honest. The game is being developed by the studio Neobards Entertainment Limited, and is coming out to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and Windows, but there's no release date yet, maybe 2026. For the first time in the main series, the game won't be set in Silent Hills. Yes, it'll be set in Japan as you can see. Despite that, we can see that it looks bizarre, just like a Silent Hills game gotta be, and they promised that it's going to be a true Silent Hill experience, a true survival horror, with bizarre creatures and an immersive and unsettling story.
もう時間がないのよ。あなたが生かされたということは、ここに至ってもまだ迷いがあるということなのね。あなたがそれに悩める時間はもう尽きかけている。
Your cortisol levels are elevated. Something's interfering, detecting temporal anomaly. Processing environment.
Cthulhu the Cosmic Abyss is a new single-player game set in the universe of the legend Cthulhu. A mining station in the Pacific Abyss is no longer responding. As an investigator of the occult, unravel the mysteries of the deep. Test your wits and sanity in this thriller inspired by the Master of Providence. The game is being developed by the studio Big Bad Wolf and will be published by Nacon. The game shall be released in some moment of 2026 to Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation, and Windows. If you like the universe and stories created by H.P. Lovecraft and also like atmospheric single-player games, this is one that you really need to keep an eye out for, cause it looks promising.
The knowledge, it's beautiful.
The Sinking City 2 is a new survival horror game set in a world inspired in the pieces of H.P. Lovecraft. The game is being developed by the studio Frogwares. It's being developed for Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5 and PC, and there's no release date yet, but maybe 2025 or 2026. Experience a heart-pounding survival horror as you explore the flooded city of Arkham and fight eldritch monsters beyond human comprehension. All that with insane realistic graphics made in Unreal Engine 5, with impressive visual and immersion. So if you are a fan of horror games, this is one that you need to keep an eye out for.
Attention. Due to recent flooding and pandemic, access to all external areas is restricted abnormal. Your safety in this new world is our absolute priority.
Suffocating. Darkness. Corridors stink. I can't get the smell out of my nose. The whispers won't shut up. Every shadow seems to haunt me. Why are you in my head? I just want to live my life. It was just a job, nothing more. Just a job.
Dark Fracture is going to be a scary psychological horror experience with ever-changing places as you search for a way out, and it's being developed by the studio Twisted 2 Studio. Walk on the edge of madness in the shoes of a tormented soul as you descend into the darkest depths of the human psyche and question everything you see. With that, I think we know what to expect, right? So this won't be a survival like Silent Hill, for example, more like Layers of Fear or even Outlast in some aspects, but if you got excited about the game, it's coming out in some moment of 2025 to PlayStation 5, Microsoft Windows, and Xbox Series X and S.
I hope this will be our last journey.
and bring us richness and freedom. But what's the value of human freedom if it's to face hell? This way.
The Mound Omen of Cthulhu is a new co-op game set in the universe of the famous Cthulhu. The game is being developed by the Studio Ace team and will be published by Nacon. It shall be released in some moment of 2025 to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and Windows. In up to 4-player co-op, form a group of explorers searching for treasure. In this cursed jungle, danger is everywhere and monstrous creatures alter reality. Stay clear-headed and tame the jungle before it devours you. The game shall envelope adventure with horror, since it's a horror universe, and in the gameplay trailer it looks like a sort of Left 4 Dead. That's a beloved style, but it's been kind of forgotten nowadays in my opinion. But let's hope that this is a good game. The Midnight Walkers is a new online PvPvE first-person extraction game, and here, the universe is taken by zombies. That'll be the standard enemies of the game. The studio developing it is One Way Ticket Studio, and the game is planned to be released still in 2025, only to PC. Fight, loot, and survive in a PvPvE first-person zombie extraction game set in Liberty Grand Center, a towering megacomplex overrun by deadly zombies and brutal bosses. Craft weapons, search for loot, or steal from other survivors. Escape with your life or descend deeper and discover its horrors. Directive 8020 is going to be a horror game focused in the story and will be developed by the studio Supermassive Games, the same studio of The Quarry, Man of Medan, and more. So yeah, this is going to be another game in this style. It's all going to be set in the space, a kinda horror we've seen a lot already, but there's always space for creativity and originality. So let's hope the game surprise us with a fun experience. Earth is dying and humanity is running out of time is the official briefing of the game, so I imagine it's going to be very immersive. That's something really important in a game like this, and it's confirmed to PlayStation 5, Microsoft Windows, and Xbox Series X and S, and it'll be available on October 2nd, 2025.
This will be difficult to hear, but if you're still out there, you deserve the truth.
Tormented Souls 2 is a survival horror set in the classic style of the 90s, like Resident Evil and Silent Hill. The game is being developed by the studio Dual Effect and it's planned to be released in some moment of 2025 to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and Windows. Caroline Walker is back in an award-winning classic survival horror sequel. Explore eerie monasteries and other nightmarish locations. Brace yourself and confront terrifying creatures armed only with makeshift weapons as you desperately try to rescue your cursed sister. So if you played the first game and liked, this one promises to be even greater.
Close. Stay here and stand guard.
If you push too much, you might unleash the beast.
Dying Like the Beast is a standalone adventure from the original games, and it's being developed by Techland. In case you don't know how it works, it's an open world filled with zombies, so you need to survive using different types of weapons, which you can explore for more. But the most interesting part of the game is the gameplay itself, with a first-person camera and insane parkour movements. For the ones who like especially the first Dying Light, you should keep an eye out for this game, and it's coming out for PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Windows, and Xbox Series X and S, but there's no release date yet, but probably still in 2025. Decadent is a horror FPS game with an original plot and impressive details. The game is being developed by Incantation Games, and it's going to be a linear FPS survival, playing as a war veteran that turned into an occultist in a quest to save his own son, and there, many danger awaits. The game looks absolutely horrifying in a matter of horror immersion. Hope it keeps that way, and if you enjoyed, the game is coming out in some moment of 2025 to PlayStation 5, Microsoft Windows, and Xbox Series X and S. Save Birmingham is an insane sandbox open-world realistic game about zombies. The game is being developed by the studio Ocean Drive Studio, and its early access version is planned to 2025, but only for PC, on Steam. But later the game will also be released on Xbox Series X and S and PlayStation 5. Survive an undead plague in a painstakingly recreated medieval market town. Manage your needs, master physics-based mechanics, and evade the horde for as long as you can. A game with a realistic approach in many details, crafting, combat, movements, and possibilities, and it promises to be one of the most immersive zombie games ever.
you are.
No way. The Stasi have made it to Nordland.
Good job we have these disruptors with us. Okay, let's hope this thing works.
Industria 2 is a story-driven FPS game. It'll be set in an alternative dimension, and the player will follow a stranded woman that's trapped there through an immersive story and storytelling. Explore, scavenge, and fight your way through a mysterious boreal landscape consumed by an ever-hungry artificial intelligence to find a way back home. In the gameplay, we'll explore claustrophobic and dark corners of this universe, with a very beautiful graphic style. For those who like story FPS games, especially with a horror approach, I recommend you to take a better look at this game, and it's coming out in 2025 or 2026, but is only confirmed to PC for now.
Your time is running out.
This place is a womb where we grow our future.
Your weapons fail. Your ammunition runs low.
And you've yet to see our most beautiful creation. All you have is your hatred and your individuality.
Now don't you wish you joined us? Would you then feel so alone?
System Shock 2 Remaster is finally the official release date confirmed, that is June 25, 2025, and the game is being developed by the studios Night Dive Studios, Looking Glass Studios, and Irrational Games, and it'll be available on PlayStation 4 and 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, Nintendo Switch 1 and 2, and Windows. System Shock 2 25th Anniversary Remaster is a genre-defining experience that established innovative gameplay mechanics that are a staple of the FPS and RPG genre today. Survive the wretched corridors of the Von Braun. Your training has prepared you for this, so if you missed the classic series, this game shall be an interesting revival.
I own an island off the coast of Costa Rica. Really spectacular, spared no expense. For this place, I wanted to show them something that wasn't an illusion. Something that was real.
Can anyone hear me? I've been left behind on Isla Nublar.
Jurassic Park Survival is a first-person action-adventure game that will explore the universe of the original Jurassic Park films. The game is being developed by the studio Saber Interactive, and it was announced in 2023, but so far we don't have the release date, and it's confirmed to Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, and PC. Return to Isla Nublar, the day after the events of the beloved 1993 Jurassic Park film, and survive thrilling first-person action as InGen scientist Dr. Maya Joshi in this single-player action-adventure game.
My name is Taylor Fox. I am a journalist. Farmer Peter Sherman contacted me. He told me about terrifying, unexplained phenomena happening on his farm. I went there to investigate. But everything didn't go as planned, although we agreed to meet. no one was home. From a note, I understood that the farmer's daughter Megan disappeared. His wife Susan started behaving strangely, as if someone was controlling her like a puppet.
They are here. Alien Abduction Horror is a new first-person shooter developed by an indie studio, Decadent, and it's coming out only to PC, with no official release date yet, but is planned to 2025. A first-person narrative horror game about an alien abduction at Grayswood Farm, inspired specially by famous films about aliens, like Signs or even X-Files. The player will be investigating the area, searching for artifacts, reading notes and documents, examining photos, studying audio and videotapes with tools like a flashlight, a walkie-talkie, a camera, and video equipment to record evidence of the aliens' activity. It seems fun.
I found out that there was a secret military complex near the farm that nobody knew about. The military was monitoring the Sherman family. Something terrible happened here 30 years ago, after which a series of inexplicable events began. Now, dear God, what have I gotten myself into?
The Lost Wild is a new sort of survival horror set in a mix of modern age with the dinosaur's age. The studio developing it is Great Ape Games, and the game got no release date yet, maybe 2025 or 2026, and it's only confirmed for PC so far. A survival horror adventure about overcoming nature's most formidable forms of life. Explore overgrown research facilities nestled in a lush wilderness. Be resourceful, intimidate, evade, and unravel the mystery at the heart of the island. So if you like horror and dinosaurs, this game shall be really interesting for you. Paleophage is a dinosaur survival horror game with exciting over-the-shoulder third-person combat, exploration, and puzzles. Play as two characters across the campaign as you fight to survive against a plethora of prehistoric threats. It's being developed by the studio Logdev and is only confirmed to PC so far and shall be released still in 2025, but it's not totally confirmed. The game seems to be a Dino Crisis revival since the classic Resident Evil games got a remake with a third-person over-the-shoulder camera and Dino didn't, so it seems this studio got inspired by this idea. Tempest Triad is a single-player first-person horror dinosaur game. It's being developed by Mendez Z, and it's confirmed to be released until the end of 2025, only on PC for now. In a secret facility located deep within a remote island, scientists experiment with a rare substance capable of manipulating the boundaries of space and time, dark matter. The goal is to create revolutionary technological advancements, but the tests begin to produce anomalies such as the appearance of prehistoric flora and the disappearance of objects, revealing the unpredictable dangers of time manipulation. Routine is another horror game set in space, but here, it's not in a ship but an abandoned lunar base and will be set in a first-person camera. The game is being developed by Lunar Software, and as I said will be set in the moon with a sci-fi style, exploring and surviving in a retro-futurist 80s. Here you won't just explore, but also survive the dangers of the place. For now what we know is that there will be some bots trying to kill you, but maybe, just maybe, there will be more surprises, we don't know. But there's no release date yet, maybe 2025 or 2026 to Windows and Xbox Series X and S, maybe a PlayStation 5 version could be confirmed too, but not yet. Deathground is a dinosaur horror game with 1 to 4 players that throws players into a desperate battle for survival. The game is being developed by the studio Jaw Drop Games and is coming out in some moment of 2025 in its early access version, only on PC, at least for now. With team-based objectives, suspenseful gameplay and constant mortal danger round every corner, teamwork and cooperation are essential to survival. So this is that kind of game for you that like to play horror co-op games with your friends, and this one looks fun.
Jezus Maria,
Holston is a psychological survival horror game set in an eerie, isolated 90s Polish town consumed by an ominous presence. It's being developed by the studio Sonka, and it's planned to be released on PlayStation 4 and 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series, Nintendo Switch, and Windows, but with no release date yet. A small, isolated town in eastern Poland is struck by a foul calamity that slowly begins to consume everyone and everything it touches. This is the last known whereabouts of your friend Bartek before he stopped answering your calls. A game with a retro style, since graphics, gameplay, and camera.
Oddział terenowy Jeziorny Kolonia. Kiedy to będzie wszystko gotowe?
Hucznie! Lub z cicha pęd. Sposobów na dbanie o bezpieczeństwo na ulicach jest bez liku. Dla każdego coś miłego. Jeden woli działać pozostając w rozsądnym oddaleniu,
Let me explain the situation. One of our contractors, Edwin Murray, has gone missing, leaving our property abandoned in his warehouse. Your job is simple. Enter the warehouse and retrieve the technology that he was developing for us. It's a kind of prototype anti-character. We suspect it may be malfunctioning, so just be aware of the slim but non-zero chance that you could sustain significant injuries while attempting to retrieve it, including but not limited to death or dismemberment. We fully expect the retrieval process to go smoothly.
Five Nights at Freddy's Secret of the Mimic is the new game of the beloved horror series. It's being developed by the studio Steel Wool Games, and for the fans of the franchise, you can expect an immersive and charismatic game. It's not an adult horror game, but a fun childish horror game with fun mechanics and nice jump scares. In the story, you be in the abandoned workshop of a manor, and there you must survive the living puppets and solve the mysteries of what happened there, set in a first-person camera and a lot of features. If you like it, it's coming out in June 13, 2025, and so far PlayStation 5 and Windows are the only confirmed, but is probably coming out to other platforms too.
Thank you for being a valued member of the Fazbear team.
Who's ready for a bit of fun then?
Killing Floor 3 is an insane co-op first-person shooter, as the series is known for being an extremely fun and brutal franchise. The game is being developed by the studio Tripwire Interactive, and looks very fun. It's 2091 and Megacorp Horzine has produced the Ultimate Army, an obedient horde of bioengineered monsters called Zeds, and now you gotta join the resistance, alone, or with your friends to defend the future of mankind. The game promises to be as brutal as never, with horrifying beings and a lot of possibilities since weapons, to gadgets, and much more. And the game is coming out to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and Windows. It was supposed to be released in March, but was postponed, but will still be released in 2025.